All right, continuing on with the custom walls by ARCHIdigm for AutoCAD Architecture. Let's take a look at something I left out of the main overview of our custom wall styles, and that is doing demolition work. So I have the work from the previous review, part 1, on my screen where I left off, and let's go now to take a look at the tool palette for wall tools, where you'll find the demolition tools. So I have a series of walls that I left off with on my screen. Maybe I should copy these all over so we can compare them to the original set. So these are the existing walls, and then we have proposed walls. These are all proposed walls. I guess I don't really need proposed walls. Nobody's going to demo. You're demoing your own proposed walls, so maybe we'll just leave these are the existing that I plan to demolish, and let's go ahead and kind of intersect these as you might see on a project. All right, and then this is the exterior. All right, well, so this would probably not do that, but maybe something like more like that, right? So the exterior material is there, and then this would probably die into here, just to make sense of it. There we go. All right, so these are the interior walls, and these are the exterior walls. And the way you can see that despite the thickness of it, and if you zoom down, it's pretty clear. This is 1/2-inch sheetrock, and this is 1/2 inch on the inside with some 1-inch layer on the outside. Anyway, to demolish, we've got a tool palette that has a basic demolishing solution and a little bit more advanced. We don't know what else to call it, so we just call it advanced. I don't really see it as particularly advanced, but let's take a look at it here. So to demolish a 5.5-inch stud wall, I just go ahead and I grab the wall. I come over here, right-click, and apply tools to walls, and it'll automatically change it to a different wall style with a different cleanup group. You'll see over here it's automatically set to demolish cleanup group, and it's also been changed to how it displays and some layers. Let's go to the layers. Now it automatically just came up with whatever the override was set. It's based on a wall, so that used an override on a wall, so it'll probably come in with the a wall color, and the default color for that is this 113. I don't want that for my demo. I want probably this, and I will typically do demoed walls with a hidden 2. Okay, so let's go and do that and see what that looks like. There we go. Okay, so notice how it doesn't clean up with anything anymore. The only thing this cleans up with, if I draw another demoed wall, it'll clean up with demoed walls, right? And the same thing can be done here with. I'm going to right-click here. I just demoed that interior wall, and so it resides on its own layer, and it has its own unique look. So you can turn this stuff off if you're getting ready to do your finished project and you don't want to show your demoed walls. You just freeze that layer. Simple enough. Let's take a look at something else here. I'm going to go ahead and isolate objects so I don't see the other stuff on my screen, and I'll show you that we chose a color. I think it's something like 146. We chose to have the demoed walls display not only in 3D as a demoed look, but if you go ahead and you go to realistic, they'll have a kind of glass material. So if you're trying to communicate to a client who needs to see this stuff in a kind of a 3D world, you can take advantage of the fact that we assigned it a material that's kind of glassy. Okay. Let's go back to this. What else is needed? Okay, let's take a look at So these two tools, and you can make your own. The intent of ARCHIdigm's content is basically seen as the base point for you to create even further customization. So all these tools are meant to be copied and altered as you see fit, if you need to do so. If they work as needed and are good enough and you don't need more, hey, that's perfect. But if you need to tweak some of these things a little bit, it's set up to do that. I'll go to the properties of the tool. Okay, and so what happens here is that that demo tool uses the layer key wall, and then we threw in an override right here, and that's how we had it do that. But the A wall demo is not actually in the layer standards, right? It's an override, so it gets created on the fly, and the results of that are what you get. You get, you know, what I showed is like color 113 and continuous line type. That's where the more advanced versions of demolishing come in. If you are familiar with your layer standards and layer keys, this is an easy thing to do. If you've never done that, I'm going to walk you through that right now. So if I go ahead and click on this tool we set up for layer key styles, it'll activate the layer key styles and show you. You should only have one of these. If you see more, there might be something funny going on in your file. And this is the default one that comes with the template files provided by Autodesk. If you get more advanced in your use of this product, you'll probably have your own with your own name on it. But we'll just take a look at this one. And go to the Keys tab. Now this is where all of the keying occurs. When you type wall add and you draw a wall, it will automatically go in here and look for wall. And then it goes to, let's see, pull this apart, and let's see. It goes to this layer right here, walls, wall. So here, A wall is the layer it creates. Here's the color, and here's the other information. All right, so that's how that occurs. Now the two layers we have if you read the little information tool here, if you highlight that, it'll tell you that you should add two keys. I think, what was it now? Wall demo and then demo. So the demo will be used if you just want to have a neat tool that demolishes anything. Let's see here. Here we go, demo. Boy, look at this, how it just re-boogers this all up. What you probably want to stay with AIA standards or whatever standards you see are valuable. You might want to do it like this, single letter, and then dash, and then 4 letters. I typically do all my demo work in a light, what reads on a black background as you know, a light line, or it's a dark line on a dark background, so to me that reads as light. Let's see, in the line type, I would always use as hidden, and then I'm not going to worry about the other settings. The other one was wall demo. All right, so let's go ahead and do a-wall-demo, and likewise I'll give that a gray and make that a hidden, and apply, and okay. So that's it. That will now let you use these tools as expected. So even though this is, let's see, I'll just take this. That is the exterior wall, and let's go ahead and just demo that. Boom. All right, so that'll take care of that. Now what's really neat is once you've made one of these keys, you can design a tool that works off of those keys. So we created a demo anything tool, and the way it works is I just drew a line, but it could be, let's see, I don't have time to bring anything in right now, but it could be anything else you want. So let's see, we'll just pick the tool, and we'll just pick the object and hit enter. So what that automatically does is it remaps whatever you selected over to the A demo layer, and because the key was set up to have certain properties like the dashed or the hidden line type, it changes it to match those things. Now there are cases where it wouldn't do that. I think if you do it with a wall, the wall has components that aren't that free. They have settings internally that would prevent all of the components to shift into the by layer property. So if I go ahead and do this, let's see, pick on this wall. Yeah, so it will do it on the whatever is set to by layer, but if there's something that needs to have a higher state of settings, like the component inside, it won't do that. So if you do it and you see that it's not quite working on some objects, you would need to go in and take a look internally to see, for example, in plan, what's going on with that object, right? So if there's any overrides. So here I have, this is an override, it's set to this layer, and below is set to that layer, and then I'd have to take a look at what the materials are doing on these other layers. But if it's a simpler object, like furniture, I think most of our furniture is pretty much set to a by layer. You can go ahead and demo it. Here's how that works. There's a command in AutoCAD called remap layers, and we went ahead and just programmed the tool to go ahead and remap it to the key demo, right? So that's what we had. I created the layer key called demo. It looks for that key and then goes and assigns the object to that. I think that's pretty much it for the demo layers. If I bring everything back, if I go back to that wall legend and I go ahead and I add some of these demoed walls, you'll see that it reads those as well. So here we go. Here are the demolished wall types in here. So it has the 2x4. Okay, so some were interior and some were exterior. All right, and I think that's it for part 2 of the ARCHIdigm's custom walls.